Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to an entertainment short clip. Today, I'm going to be going over some different Zach Lavine trade ideas. For those of you that don't know, the NBA trade deadline. Ooh, a little word fumble there. NBA trade deadline is February 8th, Thursday. So obviously 2024, a couple of weeks away. So I'm sure many of you that keep up with the NBA probably seen a ton of different trade ideas that are coming out. I'm going to go over a few. For Zach Lavine, probably the highest, well, not probably, the highest paid player on the Bulls, probably our most popular player, at least in terms of new, besides DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic. And I believe now him and Kobe White are the two longest current tenured Bulls. So they've been around for the longest, probably the face that most people are familiar with when they think of the Chicago Bulls basketball. But before I get started, I am donning the Zach Lavine City Edition jersey. Make sure I don't fall right now. Got the Ocho on. Very classy jersey. You know, if he does leave, it's going to be tough, but we'll throw this one in the closet. Maybe use it for a throwback Thursday sometime. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Just to give you guys an idea, Zach Lavine has actually been on the Bulls. I think this is his 7th season, or maybe like 6.5 since he got traded here. But just to give you a background on how the Bulls actually got Lavine, Chicago Bulls, according to Bleacher Report, they traded Jimmy Butler. This was back in 2017. They traded Jimmy Butler and the number 16 pick, which went on to become Justin Patton, to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Chris Dunn, Zach Lavine, the 7th pick, which the Bulls, we ended up using on Lauri Markkanen. So I'm still not even over that trade. I'm never sure why we gave up Jimmy Butler. Since that trade has happened, Jimmy Butler's obviously moved to a few different teams, Minnesota, 76ers, now on Miami. He's made much deeper playoff runs than Zach Lavine has, or pretty much anybody on the Bulls, since we got rid of him. So Lauri Markkanen, now he ended up on the Utah Jazz. So we don't even have him anymore. So probably the best player. Yeah, he actually made the All-Star team out west, which is very impressive. We don't even have him anymore. So Bulls pretty much ended up with just Zach Lavine out of that. And I mean, not been that great. Since we got Zach Lavine, the Bulls are 151 and 216 losses. So 151 wins, 216 losses. That's in his career with the Bulls, and averaging pretty good stats. But I mean, that's probably the big thing about Lavine, are do those stats actually produce anything? And the answer sounds like a no. But he's been averaging these past 7 years 23 points, or 23.2 points, 4.1 assists, 4.6 rebounds. So definitely solid offensive player. Doesn't do much for me on defense. Last night, surprisingly, he played pretty hard. It looks like now he realized nobody wants to trade for him. So we'll see if any of these teams that I'm actually going to go through right now want to go after him. But we'll go ahead and get started. But actually, one more thing before that, real quick. His contract right now, according to Spotrac, Zach signed a 5-year, $215 million contract with us. 215 guaranteed, so annual average of $43 million. My man is getting his aid. 2023, 2024, he's going to be earning a base salary of $40 million. So that's going to be 40 years on the books for the Bulls this year. And you got to think about other players making this much money are like LeBron James, Steph Curry, those types of big names that are champions first and foremost, and just kind of winners in terms of actually making their team hit that other level, get to the playoffs. So I don't think Zach's worth $40 million. So I definitely want to see him probably get traded if we don't make some other moves. But here are a couple of the different ideas I had. So number one, and probably the team that we're hearing the most about him going to, there's 2 ideas I had. So first team that I'm hearing a lot of, and everything that we're all hearing online, is the Lakers. So I looked up, did a couple little maneuvers online, did a little eeky research. You know how that goes. So first trade, and these all work in the trade machine. So just to give you guys a quick caveat, Rui and Reeves, so Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, they cannot be traded until January 14th. So this would have to wait, but trade deadline is not until a couple weeks after that. But first idea, Zach Lavine, Nikola Vucevic for Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Christian Wood. So that's the first trade. I obviously think that's probably a little bit better for the Lakers. The reasoning I think about it, Vooch, he doesn't really do it for me, at least not on the Bulls, but I could see him fitting in nice on a Lakers team, playing that 5 next to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't like to play the 5, as we all know, and Vooch can actually shoot the 3. So you can imagine some pick and pop with LeBron. Anthony Davis can play down at the high post. Vooch can still stretch the paint or come off the bench. That'd be nice. And then, of course, Lavine, what the Lakers truly need is another playmaker, somebody out on the court that could move around. LeBron's getting a little up there, obviously, in age and expecting a lot of him. Bulls getting back Reeves, obviously, solid player. Rui, Gabe Vincent, and Christian Wood. So nothing huge there. I mean, the big thing for the Bulls there is Rui is on a new contract. So is Reeves. So we have a couple players there, young, quote unquote. I don't know if you're building around them, but you at least have somebody there. Second trade idea would be Lavine and Patrick Williams for Rui, Reeves, and Vincent. So pretty similar trades. Both of them work like money-wise. I guess it depends what the Lakers want. Patrick Williams does give them another opportunity to have a big wing, somebody big on the side that could actually play some defense, which is something they truly need. And he's pretty good, knock down threes this year at least. But it gives them another option if they do send Rui. And for the Bulls, he's going to be a free agent this year. Are we going to pay him? Probably not. I don't know if I want to pay the soul patch man. He said he wanted $200 million. That man is crazy. But those are two ideas for the Lakers. I would say neither of them are great for the Bulls, but at this point, it kind of seems like Lavine wants to go. I know a lot of fans kind of just want him to go too. So, realistically, players usually end up where they want to go. And I'm sure everybody that's familiar knows that Clutch is like LeBron James' little company that nobody talks about. It's on the low. But that's his boy out there. So Lavine is a part of Clutch as well. So, typically when they want something, it happens. So 2 different ideas there from Lavine. Either Lavine and Vooch for Reeves, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and Christian Wood, which I think for the Lakers, that makes them actually good. Or Lavine, Patrick Williams, Rui, Reeves, and Vincent. Neither of these are groundbreaking for me. I don't know how much Lavine really makes a difference, but for some odd reason, the Lakers really want him. Second option right now, second team, Miami. So it's probably the 2 teams we've heard the most about. So I would say this trade, I actually kind of like it for both teams. Chicago, we'd be sending Zach LaVine, my favorite current Bull, Alex Caruso, and Andre Drummond. So we'd be sending those 3. In return, we'd be getting back Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, and Jaime Jaquez. That's how they'd be saying it. Jaquez. But it sounds funny when you just say Jaquez. Just makes it sound a little bit. It makes the mustache come out a little bit more for Jamie. But yeah, that would be 3 for 3. I mean, for the Bulls, clearly we're getting back a little younger talent, a little bit more to build around. So I think what really changes that trade is throwing Caruso in. Obviously, he's a winning player. He's been on a winning team before. And the good thing for the Heat in that situation is, they're giving up Hero, which for Lavine, I don't think is a big deal. But to throw in Jaquez in there, definitely would probably want to get somebody like a Caruso back. And for the Miami Heat, man, if they make that trade, you could really see that making a difference, probably being something where they can actually get back up into that top tier of the East. Right now, you got Boston still number 1. I think they lost tonight to the Bucks, who are number 2. Still got Philly up there. So, I mean, realistically, that's probably the best move where winning, it'll make an impact in terms of a big way. And I think getting a Caruso and a Lavine would be huge for Miami. And I think Lavine, probably the type of player that when he goes somewhere like Miami and there's some actual accountability, he could probably transform a little bit. He's got the athleticism. If he wanted to play defense, he could probably be one of the top defenders. I mean, I bought his jersey for a reason. It was on sale when I got it, but he's still solid out there. And for the Bulls, saying us like I'm on the team, we got the Bulls blankie, we got the Benny, and we got the Michael Jeffrey. Come on. That's us. I pay. They'd say that we can't talk. I pay for my ticket, which somehow ended up paying for something there, but that's for another day. But for us, I like that trade. We get Tyler Hero. He's decent. Kyle Lowry, probably going to retire, but getting Jaquez in the trade, super solid player. He's young, up and coming type of player that I could see in a Chicago Bulls jersey. And for those that don't know, half Mexican, baby. We love it. And he's going to be in the dunk contest. Let's go. All right, next trade. So these are a couple ones messing with. a lot of people have been saying DeJounte Murray's on the move. So the third team I'm talking about is the Atlanta Hawks. So it'd be Lavine and Drummond for Capella and DeJounte Murray. I think Drummond's actually probably better than Capella, honestly. Maybe Capella's a little more consistent, but Drummond can do big things. Get some little bit off the books from Atlanta. Bulls can swap Lavine and Murray. I think DeJounte Murray would be a really solid piece next to Kobe White. A lot bigger of a guard. He's played next to Trae Young. Obviously, Kobe White's not Trae Young, so DeJounte Murray will get the ball a lot more in Chicago. He can play defense for us, fits in. I think it'd be a solid piece for us. And for Atlanta, I mean, the whole DeJounte Murray Trae thing really hasn't worked out. I think Zach Lavine and Trae Young, that's a highlight show waiting to happen. And straight up, they probably a lot better fit. They can run up and down the court. Zach can take the ball a little bit. Trae doesn't need the ball. And Zach's definitely more of a traditional shooting guard, where Murray, needs a little bit more of the rock in his hands, not as much of a natural shooter. So I think that'd be something interesting where both teams kind of benefit from it. I don't know how much of a difference it makes in terms of like wins or losses, but definitely shakes up the roster a little bit. And Atlanta definitely would probably like to get somebody like Zach Lavine in there, get some little highlight reels in. Get that highlight factory going, baby. All right, next option. This is something that you've been hearing about a little bit, I'm sure, out there on the Twitter X files. This one would be sending Lavine and Lonzo, who even knows where he's at, for Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. So for the Bulls, I mean, realistically, you're getting back Rozier, who he's always been solid. I mean, he was really good on the Celtics, ended up going to Charlotte, got some money. Haven't really heard of him. Nobody really pays attention too much to Charlotte. LaMelo got hurt, so everybody really stopped paying attention to Charlotte. But that'd be an interesting trade. If Lonzo supposedly is supposed to come back next year, it'd be cool to have him and his brother be on a team, the Triple B team out there in Charlotte. And the Bulls, at least we get back, or Terry Rozier, he's solid. And, Gordon Hayward's not too bad. I think one of the machines I put this into actually projected the Bulls would get like 10 more wins out of that trade. I don't know if that's true, but definitely something that, we at least get back serviceable players. One thing that I don't want to do is be a tanking team. So for me, a lot of the trades are, making sure that we actually get people back, because in order to get good, we got to be good. In order for people to want to come here and play with us, we got to be good. Never heard of winning players wanting to go to shitty teams. And the last option I could come up with, and I went through like every team, and I kind of wanted to think about what teams would actually go for like a Zach Lavine. A lot of teams out there you think about, probably not going to need him. Like a Sacramento Kings, I don't think so. San Antonio probably has some money and moves that they could make. Do you want a Lavine being that player next to Wemby? Probably not. Toronto, I don't think Lavine really fits the mold of what they're looking for up there. A lot of the other teams are teams within like the Central. I don't think we're going to send them to Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee needs them. I don't think Indiana is going to make a play for them. So, I mean, not too many options out there. But the last one, taking a look, would be Memphis. So it'd be Zach Lavine and Andre Drummond for Luke Kennard, Steven Adams, and Brandon Clark. So I don't know if Memphis would really do that. Big reason they might is throwing, Lavine with a Ja Morant, Desmond Bane. Lavine's kind of known for being a little bit softer. So, maybe being on a team like that can bring out a little bit of that dog in him if he has it at all. Realistically, I don't know if that even works. They still have Marcus Smart. I know D Rose is there. He's not in the rotation like that or anything, but Marcus Smart is going to be there next year, assuming that. But this year that would also help them, stay relevant, put some fans in the seats now that Ja's going to be out. And realistically, how many big names or how many players of like Zach Lavine's talent are going to sign as a free agent in Memphis? So this be an opportunity for Memphis, to get another big name player. Bane is getting that money. Is he that second player? He's not. I mean, he's solid too, but not really that big of a second guy next to Ja. He's got the swollenness, but he's not got the height, It'd be like that. It's basketball. So that'd be the last idea. Lavine and Drummond for Kennard, Adams, and Clark. I think the Bulls in that scenario actually get a couple solid players. Kennard's not horrible. Clark is a really solid player off their bench. Doesn't take us anywhere, but that's something out there. And what I really think about is, some of these trades maybe don't sound as tempting and things like that, but I really just don't think a lot of people want Zach Lavine right now. So the market usually dictates like what you're going to get. So even if he wants to go somewhere, I don't even know if he's going to end up leaving. He's playing a little bit better, but you don't always get what you want, Zach, especially when you're not that player winning. James Harden, MVP, putting up stats no matter what, takes his team to the playoffs. He can ask for out. I don't know about Zach Lavine. All right. So the five, not the top, but the five teams mentioned: Lakers, Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, Memphis. Let me know which one of those five out of those trades or teams do you think he can go to or end up on, and will they do it? I don't know. Will they trade Zach? Who knows? Then quick honorable mention. I didn't put them on the list. Thought about it, so I figured I'd throw it on here real quick. Thought about Portland. I think a lot of people in the beginning of the year maybe thought Portland, but Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, at this point, I think they all have brighter futures than Zach Lavine. Anthony Simons is balling like crazy. Scoot's been going off the last couple games. Finally kind of caught his feet in the NBA, and Shaden Sharp he's a highlight. So Portland, somebody I thought of in the past, now not so mo. Not no mo. And then Utah too. But nah, I don't think I'd do that. I was thinking, Lavine and Williams for John Collins, Jordan Clarkson. But even Utah, I don't think Danny Ainge is going to go after like a Zach Lavine. So let me know which one's your favorite. Let me know if you have any other ideas. And will the Bulls keep Zach Lavine? Will this jersey still be usable next year? Stay tuned. Find out. Deuces.